It's the beginning of day 112. I'm here at the Cookie Lady's house along with a bunch of other hikers, and I'll be taking off shortly. It's 6:52 on August 16. I'm headed into Dalton, Massachusetts this morning. I'll probably be there 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I don't know. I need to do a resupply for a couple of days. So I need to, there's a Walmart in Dalton. Probably end up walking to that. That's like a mile off trail. And then I believe there's a kind of a community campsite that I'll be at for the evening. And it's been a lovely place here. The grounds here at the Cookie Lady are really wonderful. Just an idyllic situation, and beautiful gardens and wonderful hospitality and beautiful sunrise. So that's why it was well worth the stop here. So I'll keep taking you along with me. Slept pretty good last night. Actually turned in probably about 9 o'clock. I was charging all my devices last night, and so didn't make videos or anything, so I just went to bed. So it's all good. It's all good. So we're gonna get up and put in some miles. Leaving the Cookie Lady here. Camped here last night. Was awesome. I'm headed on trail at 7:45. Got a couple of plans. I'm going into Dalton definitely to do resupply for I think 2.5 days, so I don't have to carry so much food. I have a resupply package coming in Williamsville, and that's about 2 days and a breakfast and a couple of snacks away. So I'll also resupply in Williamsville again for another. I'm trying to stop carrying so much food. It's heavy. I've been thinking about stuff in my pack I can get rid of that I don't use. And so at Williamsville, I'm going to send some stuff home. Probably ought to be able to get rid of a pound or two out of my pack, which would be fantastic. So we'll just see. I'm getting on trail early, so I'm going to Dalton, like I said, for resupply. Sorry, I'm rabbit trailing pretty bad. I'm going to Dalton for a resupply for a couple of days. If I'm really feeling my oats today, I will. If I can resupply and repackage and get out of town. There is a shelter in 14.5. So far, my longest stay since I've been back has been like 12.5. And it was kind of kicked my butt, but hopefully I'm going in the right direction. So we're just going to see what happens. That would be awesome. And then did that, and then that would shorten the day that I want to do. The following day, I was going to hike through Cheshire to a shelter that's partway up Mount Greylock. Mount Greylock is kind of the big Mamu in Massachusetts. It's a big mountain. Couple 1,000-foot elevation gain, but if I could do the first 1,000 feet to a shelter, spend the night, and then do the next 1,000, don't think it would be so bad. And fella I stayed with at a hostel a while back said Mount Greylock isn't too bad. So it's probably just a long climb, but we'll see. Would love to check that off once we pass Mount Greylock. Yeah, I don't know what next. I'll get my resupply, get my trekking poles back to the right length. The resupply has a section for my trekking pole that I broke, and it has a bunch of supplements, but it doesn't have food. I'm starting to get more food in town. If I can start working this right, it'd be nice to only carry 2 or 3 days of food instead of five. And when I try to carry 5 days of food, I invariably end up carrying 6, and it just is heavy. So the less weight you carry, faster you go. So that's kind of the deal. It's been nice camping with other hikers and having a little fellowship. But all the people I hike with tonight are going 16, 20 miles today. So I won't see them again, probably. So I just, I am the tail end. So one of the things that surprised me, I think I've said this before, is how many bog boards have been in Massachusetts. Not a huge fan of bog boards, but they are flat, and if they're going over a bunch of soupy stuff, it's nice not to walk in the mud. So anyway, I guess this is I believe it's day 112. So we're going to head down the road. I'm going to try to hike pretty easy today. The terrain looks fairly gentle. And looks like there's one sort of a smaller climb before Dalton. But other than that, it looks like it's pretty much a lot like yesterday. I mean, yesterday had some challenges too, but it's a lot like yesterday. So hopefully I can just kind of relax and walk. So the trail today, so far for I've got about 3 miles, maybe 3.5, has been fairly level and smooth. There have been some rocky places across a couple of streams, and had one little kind of a rock scramble thing, but it was only like 20 feet. So making really good time. It's possible that I could be in Dalton by noon, which would be pretty amazing. There is one climb coming up at a certain point of a couple hundred feet, but so be it. So I'm considering trying to get into Dalton, resupply for a couple of days to get over Mount Greylock into Williamsville, and then head on to a campsite. The sign back there said 10.3 miles yet, but I'm going to have to add a couple of miles of road walking to resupply. It'd be a pretty big day. It'd be like 16, 17 miles. Don't know if I'm up to it or not, but I'm thinking about it. Okay, here we have a little climb. So I'm going to put this away so I can use my trekking poles. Stopped by the stream. It's 11:40. I've done about 8 miles. I have 2 more miles into Dalton. I slowed down a little bit over the last while, and probably will in this. I've got to climb uphill, and then I've got a fairly good stretch of downhill into Dalton. Tend to be a little slow on the downhill. And 8 miles in, that's a pretty good portion of a normal day. So I just stopped here to take a little rest. I think I'm going to filter a little bit of water, half a liter of water to get into Dalton. I just like to have water when I'm on a climb. I don't know if this is a huge climb, but I like to have water on a climb. if my mouth gets dry, etc. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to head into Dalton. Hopefully we can make Dalton by 1 o'clock. Remains to be seen what I'll do tonight, whether I'll stay overnight in Dalton or there's a gentleman that'll let you tent in his backyard that's right along the trail. So if that way, it just depends on how resupply goes, and I want to probably get a meal in Dalton. So kind of depends on that and how my feet feel and how my body feels after doing most of a day before lunch. So take you along with me. It's been pretty. The trail's been very congenial today. There still are rocky and rooty patches, and I kind of don't like all the rootiness, but the rootiness is because so much foot traffic erodes the soil away from the roots. So, you know, it's the hikers that are doing the damage. The other thing I noticed here, and I don't feel like getting up to walk over there to show you. Let's see if I can zoom here. You see those funguses on the side of that birch tree? Those are tinder fungus. If you take those and you break them apart and you put a spark in them, they'll sit there and glow for a long, long time. That's on a dead, looks like a gray birch tree. I've seen those before. We found them on birch trees and back in the St. Mary's Wilderness, which is on the border of Virginia and West Virginia above Monterey. And I actually took some home and used them in fire pistons, and you can use them in fire starting. I'm trying to get weight out of my pack, not put weight in, so those tinder fungus are just, they're safe. There's another tree over there with a whole mess of them on it. They're really pretty cool. So anyway, just an update here on the day, and I'll check back with you later in the day. So I am just getting into Dalton, Massachusetts. My goal now is to hike about a mile. It's really about a mile into town here, and get myself a good meal, and hopefully a cold Gatorade somewhere or a cold drink. The day is not terribly hot, but it's like 78 and I'm sweat wet. So anyway, this is officially the trail. So the trail goes right through Dalton, Massachusetts, and when I get in farther, I'll show you more. I just about made a wrong turn there. You can see the blaze here on the telephone pole. Tells us we're on the trail. So we're going to walk down here, and there are a number of eating places that are available, and you can see what we can find. It's 1:06. I've done 10 miles this morning. Feet are tired. I can use a little break. I'm hoping to take a long break here for lunch. If I happen to be able to do a real quick resupply, I still may consider bombing out of town for another 4 miles, but right now I'm not feeling that, but you never know. So I'll keep taking you with me. So this is the wrap-up of day 113. So I hiked from the Cookie Ladies today, from Cookie Ladies to Dalton, Massachusetts. It's a town that the trail goes right through. I'm camping on Tom Lavardi's front porch. Tom has been hosting hikers on his property, either to tent out back or sleep on his porch for 46 years. Tom was kind enough to run us to Walmart to do a resupply and Chipotle to get supper. It's been nothing but a gentleman, and so it's been really good experience. I was going to try to push on further, but when I got to town here at 1 or 2 and just started looking for eating places and made a couple of wrong turns and walked farther than I wanted to, I finally hiked back here and just took a load off. And so tomorrow's plan is to hike 10 miles to Cheshire, Massachusetts, to the Father Time campsite, another kind of iconic place. Evidently there's a deli right across the street from it, so I'm going to get my evening meal tomorrow night at the deli. I did a resupply tonight, taking in mind that I can get supper and breakfast in Cheshire. I just got a minimal resupply. It's still heavy. So I'll go to Cheshire tomorrow, and then the day after that I'll hike up and over Mount Greylock, which is the highest point in Massachusetts. It's a 10-mile hike, and the last couple miles of it are a pretty gnarly downhill. So kind of looking forward to the hike up, and at the top there's a monument and it's kind of a big to-do, and so that'll be fun. Excuse me, not tomorrow, but when I hike Mount Greylock tomorrow to Cheshire. Tomorrow's my birthday. I turn 66 tomorrow. It's hard to believe. So I'm going to spend my 66th birthday on the trail. It would have been too perfect if I would have been summiting Greylock on my birthday, but just didn't work out. Even if I would have hiked an extra 5 miles tonight, I don't think I would have done that tomorrow. I would have just done halfway up Greylock, and then so it doesn't change things too much. Let me show you my setup for the night. See if you can see it here. I got my hammock bug net strung up here, and I have a sleeping pad inside it, and I'm going to go in there with my pillow and my underquilt and some earplugs, and that's where I'm going to spend the night. And it's a little different setup than normal, but it'll work. I don't usually sleep quite as good on the ground, but tonight I'm just going to say in faith I'm going to sleep good. I'm going to sleep good. So that's a wrap up of 113, and it's good having you with me. I'm seeing a lot of new sights, and today's hike was not a hard hike. Just that my feet were getting pretty weary by the time I got here, and it felt really hot. And in Dalton, when we were walking, there isn't much shade, so I was walking in like 90 couple degree heat and carrying a pack. I ditched probably a pound of trash, and got rid of a couple things, and so I'm trying to lighten my pack up. The heaviest thing in my pack now is clothing. I have too many clothes. I need to decide what I can get rid of and what I can't. In Williamstown, which is up over Mount Greylock, I'm gonna pare down a little bit more and send some more stuff home. Just got to get this pack lighter. It's heavy. I mean, it's always heavy, but the lighter you can get it, the better. So anyway, signing off on day 113. It is actually August 16. I'm at mile marker 1576. When I get to mile marker 1590, which will be up on the climb on Greylock, I will have made 1,000 miles. So, Great Sun signing off.